Hello, I am Minecraft Phenom 08 and welcome to the 49th episode of my second 1 billion iron ingot challenge. In today's episode, I am going to add another way to process iron ore to my system, and that will actually quadruple my, or take one iron ore and make it into 4 iron ingots. So let's go over exactly what I'm going to do in today's recipe, and then let's actually build the system. So I will be using the induction smelter with the pyro concentrator upgrade, and I will be using rich slag, and obviously I will need the blazing pyrotheum. And using this recipe I will get 4 iron ingots as well as some additional slag that I will need to store at some point. But yeah, so let's get started. So for the pyro concentrator upgrade, I actually already have them made, but the recipe is right here. It's a signalum gear, nickel plates, conductors, redstone conductance coil, and pyrotheum dust. So not too bad of a recipe. And like I said, I have a bunch of those made up. I also have the induction smelters made up because I've made them plenty of times in this series by now. So yeah, let's also grab a red print because that might be useful. And let's grab some conduit because I definitely will be needing plenty of conduit. I will probably need more than that, so let's grab some of that, as well as some energy conduit. And I also need to grab a crafter, and that is because I need to actually make some pyrotheum dust. I also need a magma crucible. Actually, I'm going to need multiple magma crucibles. I'm not sure how many. Let's go ahead and pick up, let's do 5 for right now. Do I really have hardened glass as the recipe for this? So I kind of thought that I had a fused quartz recipe, but apparently I have the hardened glass as the recipe. So let's actually get fused quartz here, because I don't have hardened glass automated, because you can pretty much use fused quartz anywhere where you can use hardened glass. So let's just grab the magma crucible. And it is right here, so let's actually just swap the recipes, and that should be good to go. So like I said, let's grab 5 of those for right now. And then I also want to grab some conversion kits, and that'll be more than enough. I actually only need 25, but it was easier to right click. And then let's grab some of the energy conduit now that it should be done being crafted. And is there anything else that I need? There will probably be a few things I need to grab. Oh, some food conduit. That's another thing I will need. So let's grab a bunch of that. And I will probably need some speed upgrades. So let's grab a stack or 2 of those. The Ender IO speed upgrades. The extract speed upgrades, that is. So let's actually get started over here. So I'm going to be working in this building. I will be working in the basement. And okay, so I actually want to reserve this row right here for more enhanced sag mills, and then this row right here will be just dead space. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these torches first off, so I can just kick these away, because in this line right here I want to put my induction smelters. And I think that it'll be easiest if I do them back to back in lines of 10. Okay, so that should be 10, should be halfway across the room, and then have these induction smelters over here. Okay, I should have probably dropped down one and configured it, but whatever, it'll still work. So I think what I'm going to do is, you know what, let's just go ahead and upgrade these right now. And then I also want to stick in some augments for these guys. So let's go ahead and grab the augments. Just a couple of stacks of the speed augments. And then, okay, so let's clear this first off. In the back, I'm going to have an input. I think in the back, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have, actually, I can do both. I can do both liquids and the items in through the back. And then I should be able to do the output to the bottom. And I actually should probably have the in and out to the bottom, because I will probably need to get iron ore from the bottom as well, because that's where I'm putting the iron into the enhanced sag mills. So it'll probably be easiest if I do that as well. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to configure all of my induction smelters to be like this, and I'm going to drop in the augments as well, and I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera because it's going to take just a little while, and once I have all of them done, I will be right back. So now I have all of my induction smelter set up. I also added the pyro concentrator upgrade, or the augment, to all of them, and I totally forgot to mention that before I went off camera and set up all the induction smelters, but I do have them in each of the induction smelters. So basically I need to make blazing pyrotheum to fill the tanks here for the induction smelters. So let's get started on making a system that can do just that. So what I'm going to do is actually right here, I'm going to set up a system to actually make the blazing pyrotheum. So what I need to do is, the first thing is I'm going to drop down a crafter, and that will go right here. And I think, okay, so that is regular ME conduit, and that actually works out perfect, I think, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab an ME interface, and let's do this, and I will need my wrench. So let's get rid of that real fast. Let's drop down an ME interface. I need to set that up to not be anything. And then I will need to set this up to hold a few things. So let's grab the wireless terminal here, and to make pyrotheum dust, which is the first step here, is we need blaze powder, redstone, and sulfur. So let's grab blaze powder, redstone, and sulfur. So I have a lot of blaze powder. What I've been doing is I've been spawning blazes, and here recently I set my export bus to export the blaze rods into my pulverizing system, and so that's why I have all this blaze powder all ready to go. So that's nice. And then I need the sulfur as the last step here. So first off, I'm going to set this ME interface to hold a stack of each of these items. And then I'm going to come up here to the crafter here, and I'm going to set it to remember to hold this number of items. So hit remember here, and then let's set up the recipe. And bada boom, that'll make pyrotheum dust. And I will need to give it power, but that isn't a big deal. We can just drop this right here, and then boom, it has power. And we have pyrotheum dust. Also, I want to set this up to be right here, and I should probably kick that out. Right here, I need this to be extract. I need to find a channel I haven't used yet on this system here. I don't think I've used light gray. I've used up to purple. Oh, shoot. So I've used up to purple. Actually, let's just go with gray. I'm 100% that I haven't used gray yet. So, okay, I do need to add some extract speed upgrades to this to make things a little bit faster. There we go. So now we have all of this pyrotheum dust, and we need somewhere to put it. So that somewhere to put it is the magma crucibles. I'm going to drop right here. So actually, before I drop these down, let's go ahead and set up the power for them, and then it'll just be set up like this. And then I'll set up the 5 magma crucibles to be right here. I'm not sure if this is overkill or not. I'm not sure exactly how many magma crucibles I actually need for this, but I'm pretty sure that 5 is going to be overkill. Better to have too much than not enough. At least that's my opinion. Okay, so drop in some auxiliary reception coils just to speed these up a little bit. And then let's dig this out. That way we can operate down here. And okay, so what I need to do here is set the magma crucibles to be, actually I need them to be insert and extract on the bottom here. so that isn't too hard. There we go. And let's go ahead and from the crafter here, we will extract, and let's do that on the pink channel. And that will be always on. So I actually need to set up the item conduit before I do that, before I can actually configure it. Okay, so this will be in on pink. And it should get that directly. And I will also need to put some extract speed upgrades in this just to speed that up. So let's go ahead and configure the rest of them. And I don't need extract to be on because it is not producing items, it's producing blazing pyrotheum, which is a liquid. Oh, what did I do? Okay, so pink. There we go. Once again, pink. Cool. So that's off and running, and that's producing the blazing pyrotheum. I actually need to get the liquids out, so let's set that up. And the liquids need to come over here. So that actually will not be hard. We can just drop this here. And then we can set the fluid up to be extract on green, always on. Oh, shoot. Extract green, always on. Extract green, always on. And I'm not really sure if I need the speed upgrades. I'm going to try to run it without them for right now, and I'm going to see if that's going to work out. Hopefully it will. If it doesn't, I can just add some speed upgrades, and then it should work out. If it doesn't, then I would be kind of befuddled, I guess. So let's go ahead and... I don't think I'm going to use the back here. I think I will probably add some thermal mediators in the future, but for right now I'm not going to have anything in the back. So I need to dig this out so that I can add my item conduit. I need to add my fluid conduit, and then yeah, it should be almost ready to go. There is one more thing. I do need to get rich slag over here, but the iron is really easy. I can just tap it from the item conduit right here. Okay, so let's go ahead and set this up. And then I need energy conduit. And I'm actually surprised I don't see energy anywhere real close by. I should be able to just tap it from somewhere like right here. Yeah, that'll work fine. And there we go. That should connect everything up. And then we can do that for that. Cool. And there we go. And then let's do the item conduit as well. Okay, let's... So there's a lot of conduit down here, but it should all work out if I configure everything correctly. Oh, I missed that. Do I have item conduit here? Nope. Okay, so let me double check that I have 3 things connected to all of these machines. Okay, so I do need to double check on what exactly I have the iron on. So it needs to be N on green. Okay, so that should work. Okay, so what I need to do with all of this conduit here is I need to do N on green for the item conduit. I need to do N on green for the fluid conduit as well, and I need to do this for all of this conduit down here. So I'm going to go ahead and do this off camera, and once I have all of this configured, I will be right back. Okay, so I have all of the conduit configured, and one thing I did not mention is I needed to extract on brown. And that is because the output is also on the bottom side, so I went ahead and did that as well. So all of that is set up. Now I just need to get the liquid blazing pyrotheum to over there, and I should very simply be able to run my fluid conduit just with this item conduit, and that should work beautifully fine. So let's see here. Okay, this block should do it. I also need to do these 2 blocks, I think. And then cool. Looks like everything is going swimmingly. Okay, so if you'll notice, there is no iron ore in here, and that's because I forgot to do one thing, and that is I want to set the priority, the insert priority, to be positive. And that's because I want the iron to come to the induction smelters before they come to the enhanced sag mills, and that's because the yield is higher over here. With the enhanced sag mill, my average yield is 3.5 times iron ingots per each iron ore. With the induction smelters, it will be 4 iron ingots for each iron ore. So I do want to go ahead and set that priority as 1 for all of the item duct over here, and I can very quickly just go ahead and do this. I don't think I've played with priority much yet in with item conduits in the mod Ender IO, so I figured I might as well just show it. So basically what the item conduit does is typically it will just send the items to the nearest inventory with the highest priority. Since everything had a priority of 0 beforehand, it just sent to the nearest inventories as it could. And that's why there was no iron ore in the induction smelters over here, because they are further away than the enhanced sag mills. So simply by setting the priority as 1, the iron ore will come over here first. So that's great. That's exactly what I want to see. So I have the iron ore in here now. I have the blazing pyrotheum. Now I just need the rich slag. So that's not too big of a problem. I think what I can go ahead and do is, you know what? I might use this back here. I think I will. I think I am going to go ahead and use the back as another input channel here. So I'm going to just put some item conduit here. And let's see here. Okay, so I don't need that filtered. What I can do is I can get some rich slag, get a filter, and I need a fresh filter. So let's go ahead and tell this system to always have, or this ME interface to always carry some rich slag. And then we can set this to be, actually I don't even need to do that. Shoot. I just need to okay, so it might be easier if I actually just knock this out and then try it like this. Oh, I bet that's the, oh, that's right. So let's do, okay, so we're using gray and pink. Let's do lime. Extract on lime channel, always on. We want to throw this filter in and tell it to only do rich slag. So it will only extract rich slag on the lime channel, always on, and let's throw some extract speed upgrades in there. And then, yeah, that's connected up to this item conduit, which does run down here. And we just simply need to actually connect this up. And we can do that, say, right there. Yeah, I think that'll be fine. And then let's go ahead and tell this to insert on the lime channel. Cool. That works. So I need to go ahead and set up the item conduits up here to be insert on the lime channel. I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and once I have that done, I will be right back. And I have everything done, and look at that, the induction smelters are working, and you can even see that they are producing 4 iron ingots per operation and 1 slag. Now, one last thing I would like to do in this episode is I would like to store the slag. I know that down here I have a few extra channels, so what I'm going to do is I'm pretty simply just going to, actually let's do it something like right here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to slap down a black hole unit with a storage bus on it. I'm going to set that to be slag. I'm going to set it with a positive priority of 1000, and then I'm just going to slap on this pink covered cable to connect it up to my ME system. And Cool, so the slag should be stored in here, so that is fantastic, and that's that. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good wrapping up point for today's episode. So in today's episode, I built this system right here with induction smelters and blazing pyrotheum and rich slag, and this processes iron ore into iron ingots at a slightly more efficient rate than the sag mills back there do. If for whatever reason I ever run out of blazing pyrotheum or rich slag, it won't be detrimental, as my enhanced sag mills can still carry their weight and they're still hooked up and everything. So yeah, pretty awesome. And it does look like the magma crucible system for actually making the blazing pyrotheum is keeping up, so that is obviously nice to see, as well as the crafter. I knew the crafter would keep up because it's a very fast machine. Anyways, as of right now, I have 328 million iron ingots. To the best of my knowledge, my rate is still around 20 million iron ingots per day, although this system might increase it by a little bit, say 1 or 2 million per day. I don't really know. We'll see. But anyways, if you enjoyed today's episode, definitely give it a like. If you enjoy watching automation type stuff in modern Minecraft, definitely consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't already, as that's kind of what I do. Anyways, signing off. I am Minecraft Phenom 08, and I will see you next time.